John Wayne Gacy was born on March 17, 1942, in Chicago, Illinois. He grew up in a troubled household with an abusive father who often belittled him. Despite his difficult upbringing, Gacy attempted to lead a normal life. He struggled with his sexual identity and eventually married, fathering 2 children. His early adult years saw him working as a successful businessman and engaging in local politics, which helped him cultivate an image of an upstanding citizen. However, beneath this facade lurked a disturbed mind. Gacy's first brush with crime came in 1968, when he was convicted of sexually assaulting 2 teenage boys in Iowa. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison, but served only 18 months due to good behavior. After his release, he returned to Chicago, remarried, and started a successful construction business. He was well liked in his community, and even performed as Pogo the Clown at local charity events. His public persona masked the sinister activities he would soon undertake. Between 1972 and 1978, Gacy lured young men and boys, often promising them jobs or a place to stay, into his home. Once there, he would overpower his victims, often using a ruse such as a fake magic trick or an offer to show them wrestling moves. He would then restrain them using handcuffs and subject them to horrific acts of torture before ultimately killing them. His preferred method of murder was strangulation with a rope, a technique he chillingly referred to as the rope trick. Some victims were also suffocated with pillows or other objects. After the murders, Gacy buried most of his victims in the crawl space beneath his home, while others were discarded in nearby rivers when he ran out of burial space. Gacy's downfall began with the disappearance of 15-year-old Robert Piest on December 11, 1978. Piest had told his mother he was meeting with a contractor for a potential job, but never returned home. Investigators quickly linked Gacy to the boy's last known whereabouts. Initially, Gacy denied any involvement, but detectives, growing suspicious, placed him under surveillance. During this time, Gacy's erratic behavior escalated, and he even admitted to officers that he had committed multiple murders. Authorities obtained a search warrant and discovered human remains in the crawl space beneath his home. Over the following days, they unearthed the bodies of dozens of victims. Gacy was charged with the murders of 33 young men and boys. His trial began on February 6, 1980 in Chicago. The defense attempted an insanity plea, arguing that Gacy was not in control of his actions. However, overwhelming evidence, including forensic reports and witness testimonies, left little doubt about his guilt. After a 5-week trial, the jury deliberated for just 2 hours before finding him guilty of all charges. He was sentenced to death on March 13, 1980. Gacy spent 14 years on death row at Menard Correctional Center. During this time, he painted and gave interviews, often showing no remorse for his actions. He even attempted to appeal his conviction multiple times, all of which were denied. On May 10, 1994, Gacy was executed by lethal injection at the Stateville Correctional Center in Illinois. His last words were reported to be, "Kiss my ass." Legacy and impact. John Wayne Gacy's crimes shocked the nation, exposing the dark realities of predatory behavior hiding behind a seemingly normal facade. His case led to increased awareness of serial killers and changes in investigative techniques, particularly in missing persons cases. The horrors of Gacy's crimes remain one of the most chilling chapters in American criminal history, a grim reminder that evil can exist behind even the most unsuspecting masks.